Hey, happy new day, guys. I find it amazing that every time I travel around and interact with people, especially in churches, in the church context, they would say to me, I'm having problems with other folks in the church, or we have problems getting along. And it seems to sort of be our nature to always have problems with each other. And a few years ago, I realized that part of the reason why we have so many problems with each other is because too many of us are alive. Yes, that's what I said. Too many of us are alive when we actually should be dead. I'm talking about being dead to self. Galatians 2, verse 20, one of my favorite texts says, I have been crucified with Christ. It's not I who live, but Christ who lives in me. And the life I now live in the flesh, I live by the faith of the Son of God who loved me and gave himself for me. So I think personally that we are walking around literally like zombies when we should be dead and Christ should be living in us. Just think of it this way. If the self in me clashes with the self in you, and the self in you clashes with the self in somebody else, you could understand why we have so much division and confusion in church. But just imagine if I am dead to self and the Spirit of God is living in me, you are dead to self and the Spirit of God is living in you. And the same thing happens with all of our church members. When we come together, we'd be in one spirit because it will not be myself clashing with you or yourself clashing with me, but it would be the Spirit of God meeting with the Spirit of God, so we'd be in unity. So I believe that our greatest problem is self, and that we need to work on dying daily so that Christ can live in us. And I think that the days I wake up and go out and Christ is not in me is a very bad day. And these are the days we look back and say, wow, did I behave like that? Because really self was alive that day. So I just want to encourage us to really work on dying to self daily so that the Spirit of God can continue living in us. Self will always be at war with God and also with our fellow men. So it's our utmost or it is to our utmost best to practice dying daily so that God's Spirit can live in us.